morning and welcome to the Waffle podcast. We are on episode 13 and my name is Liz Ward. I am a crochet designer living in York with my two cats who will no doubt make an appearance very soon. I say this looking down because Puka's literally just walked into the room, closely followed by Cal. Yeah, it's been a while since my last podcast. I think it's about 4 weeks. I missed out last week because I was full of cold and I kept meaning to do like a catch-up podcast, but just didn't happen. Well, with everything that's going on in the world, we've got the coronavirus, which is affecting pretty much everybody. It's affecting everybody. I live alone. I'm in the UK. We are in a form of lockdown. It's not as strict as some lockdowns in other countries. We're allowed to go out for food, exercise, but we have to maintain social distancing at all times. So pretty much I am in the house by myself most of the time with my cats. And honestly, that's pretty much my norm, apart from the fact that I do go out to work. Puka's just arrived. I do go out to work. Normally I work in a little shop called Duttons for Buttons, which is closed for the duration now. Yeah, I'm at home most of the time and it's been an adjustment. I think last week was really difficult when we got the news that we were going into this lockdown situation. It's just the fact that you realise that you're not going to see your friends, your loved ones. And for me, I'm just not going to see anybody. So yeah, it's been an adjustment and I did have a week where I was like, I really should do a podcast, but every day it was just not happening and I was sort of being a bit mad at myself because I didn't do it, but then realising at the moment things are very different, they're very strange, and we don't have to be productive, we don't have to get stuff done every day, we just have to get through the days. And if we do that and, you know, we get through this, we get through it together, we all stay safe, that's really the best thing we can be doing right now. And yeah, I'm not too mad about the situation being at home. I'm not being productive every day, I'm not working every day, I'm relaxing. And to be honest, I have this little one who you've probably noticed is quite a bit bigger since the last time she was on. I'm going to do a proper Lion King at the camera for you. So yeah, this is Puka. She was 12 weeks old. She was 9 weeks old, sorry. She was 9 weeks old on the first podcast and she had been living here for 3 days. She is now 13 weeks old. Still very small for a 13-week-old Bengal. She's going to knock everything over. And she is a silver Bengal kitten. And she's pretty amazing. I'll probably talk more about her and Cal towards the end of the podcast. But yeah, she's just going to hang around and cause chaos, which is what her name means. She is a bringer of chaos and we absolutely adore her. Let's see if she'll get on a sofa. She might. Can you? Hang on. I might have to just move that if she's actually going to sit on it. There we go. See if she'll sit on there. I'll scoot over slightly as I know she's the star, not me. Okay, yeah, so it is the 1st of April today. It is an overcast day. As I say, I'm here in York. Yeah, what have I got to bring you? I have a few finished objects. Excuse me. Yes. So, I have a few finished objects. I have a new pattern release, a new crochet pattern, which I think you'll really like. And I have some works in progress. I have a small acquisition section. I haven't really been doing a lot of buying, just because, you know, we've all got to be careful with pennies, it's an uncertain time. But yeah, should we crack on? I suppose we'll start with my biggest finished project, which is the scrappy crochet blanket that I was working on. And last episode, I think I just wound together the last magic loop, I keep saying magic loop ball, magic knot ball. So yeah, I'd wound together quite a lot of scraps that I had dyed myself. This edging is actually my little rainbow kits that I have. There are still some of these available in my Etsy shop. But yeah, this is the blanket. It is now fairly big. It's probably really, it's not like it's going to fit over a bed or anything like that, but it's perfect for the back of a sofa or over your knee and whatnot, and it's very bright and lovely and colourful. And if I can get that as close as possible. It also now has a kitten hanging off the end, which is very much helping it lie nicely. But yeah, I love it. I think that's actually the wrong side, not that it really matters with these kind of things. Ow! Puka has learned to climb up my legs, mainly using claws. Yeah, sit down, darling. Puka, look in the camera. Good girl. So yeah, this it was just a pick up and put down project, and I really did enjoy it. My crochet mojo has been at a pretty much all-time low, so just having something like this that I could actually, you know, trick my brain into thinking I was crocheting when really, you know, I mean, yes, I was crocheting, but it wasn't work crochet, it was just relaxing crochet. And yeah, as it's a granny square, it starts in the middle and you just keep on going until you get it as big as you want, and it's made up of all my sort of hand-dyed 4-ply fingering weight scraps. I haven't weighed it, I haven't blocked it, I haven't woven in the ends, but it's finished. If you can hear grumbling, it's Cal. She talks to Puka. They get on amazingly. Can't talk about it because I will burst into tears. Yeah, they get on so well. It took a few weeks, but yeah. Anyway, more on the end, more on the end. Okay, second finished object. Knitting. And I have finished the Christmas socks I was knitting out of the Gingerbread House colourway from Stranded Dye Works, which is the lovely Amy of Stranded podcast. Yeah, I got the sport weight in this colourway. It was, it might not have been what I would have chosen, but her shop's very popular, and if you ever, you know, catch an update, you know, get what you want while you, get what you can while you can. And actually, I'm really pleased that I got the sport weight in this. I love the look because the colours really pop. So, I think I cast on 60 stitches with it being sport weight. And I did a normal 2x2 hem, and then I did a heel flap and gusset. I'll just show one so it makes it easier. So this is the heel flap and gusset from the Hermione's Everyday Socks. So it's the Eye of Partridge heel. I didn't do the garter stitch edging. Can you see that? But I did do something weird, but I can't remember quite what. So yeah, heel turn decreases into the standard wedge toe. And these knit up really fast because there were slightly fewer stitches and it's sport weight yarn. I was also trying out a new needle, which I think, yeah, Puka has stolen. These are, so it was a 2.5mm needle rather than my normal 2.25, and I can show you. These are the Nova Cubics, and other than the point, the actual needle itself is squared off. And I was recommended these to try these, and actually I really did enjoy them. And I'm going to use them again. I'm going to cast on a pair of fingerless mitts with them and see how I get on doing colour work with them. So yeah, I will be trying these, using these again. And I think they'll come in really handy. But yeah, so these are a pair of Christmas socks, because obviously it's a Christmas colourway. It's beautiful. They're just lovely. I really, yeah, an enjoyable knit. I didn't do contrast heels or toe. I wanted to show the yarn off in all its glory, and I think, as you can probably agree, it is absolutely glorious. Yeah, very happy with these, and these will go into my box of Christmas socks, which is slowly growing. This is the only pair I've finished this year, but there will be more on the way soon. Okay, if the camera knocks, I apologise. Cal's gone behind it. I think she's trying to find Puka. Yes, maybe it has to be good cut out. Cal. She's there. So now Cal will just clean Puka's ass and everything will be nice in the world. Again, apologise if you hear weird chirruping and calling to each other. Cal and Puka talk to each other in a language that is all their own and it's adorable. Yeah, so I have one more finished object. It is not crochet, it is not knitting, it is a little bit of sewing, and long-term viewers of the podcast may remember I got this Corinne Lapierre kit from Dutton's, where I work. Oh, that went really dark, sorry. Yeah, so I picked up this kit because it was a sheet and I thought it would make a really cute decoration for the studio, and then proceeded never to actually do anything with it. It just sat in here and never got worked on. But I was feeling the need of a different type of craft, and so I picked it out and I made it. Yeah, sorry again for all the cat chaos. It's there's nothing I can do. Have you seen this adorable? But yeah, so yeah, this is the finished little sheep from the Corinne Lapierre kit. If I hide, then you'll focus on it. I added in some French knots because I really enjoy doing them. But yeah, it's just a freehand embroidery kit and you can pretty much decorate it how you like. That is the picture that you get on the front, and it tells you how to do various stitches. It also has the stuffing in all the embroidery threads inside. I chose to change the colours, so I've done it in grey and cream, and I also decided not to decorate the back completely but give him a little fluffy tail because it's adorable. So yeah, so that will be added into the things to hang in the studio. This may be a bad idea. Oh no. It will go there. I think Puka's just discovered she can look out our windows. So while she's there actually, I will show you the other finished thing, which is going to be the pattern release for today, which is actually hanging in the window. So I might just be able to spin this round slightly and you can see it hanging just there, but I will grab it down and bring you back. I'll leave Puka in focus. I don't know why I just did my head in the middle there like an absolute idiot. Yeah, this is the pattern that I will be releasing later on today. This is my spring wreath for a home decor item. It was originally made for Love Crochet magazine, but due to the time constraints and the amount of area in the magazine I get to put a pattern in, it wasn't as elaborate in that magazine as I wanted it to be. So I have reworked it and added in some more flowers and just made it more abundant in spring floralness. Good words, good words. So yeah, so this is the spring wreath. It's formed around a polystyrene wreath ring. I can't remember the size, but I will put that in the pattern. I did not crochet around the ring. What I actually did was wrap it with yarn, and that actually just makes the construction a lot faster, because I know ones I've done in the past I've actually made a crocheted cover for the wreath itself, which is pretty much just crocheting a straight, like long rectangle. And it's when you're wanting to make something pretty and something fun, that bit's very boring. So I thought we'd skip that step with this one, and I also just really love the effect of it. I think it looks really pretty. You don't have to go for green, you could go for blues or pastels, you could use whatever colour you want, and the pattern will have all the flower instructions and how to make them and how to sort of form it all together, and nobody is listening to me because of these two. Oh dear. Can you hear Cal chirruping at birds now? So yes, this is my spring wreath pattern. I am hoping, that, like I said, this pattern will be released later today. This podcast should be up by sometime tonight, and this pattern will already be in my Etsy shop and my Ravelry shop by then. I am looking to put more patterns on Love Crafts as well. I already have a few on there, but not many. But yeah, all my information will have appeared on the screen and probably will again. But yeah, you will be able to find this pattern later today. And I honestly think it's a really nice project to be working on at the minute, just because it brings a bit of spring into the home. And I really like having this in. Usually in spring I have spring flowers in the house every week. You know, as soon as they finish I go out and get some new ones. That's not a possibility at the moment. So I haven't had any fresh flowers in the house for a while, and just finishing this and putting it up just brought that sort of lovely spring feeling back into the home. So yeah, my spring wreath, that is the pattern release for this week, and that is all the finished objects. You alright, Cal? Cal lost her voice last week as well. That was a bit scary. But she's fine. I kept sort of being like, I'll just give it a couple of days and see how she is, because she's a bit weird. She tends to lose her voice if she drinks in the wrong way. Can you see all the hair? But yeah, it came back. She's still a bit croaky, but it came back. Do you want your cushion? Well, Cassie's cushion, but you can sit on it, or you can sit on the cushion. And then Fuka can sit on the cushion. She flinches if I try and give her a smooch. Okay, so works in progress, and I'm not going to lie, it's mainly socks. That has been what I have been gravitating to, because, yeah, I have just really wanted comfort projects for the past week or so, and yeah, mainly socks. But there are two that aren't socks, so I will start with those. And as it is the 1st of April, I thought I'd give you an update on my mitered square blanket. This blanket, I am doing a square a day, and I started a bit before Christmas in the attempt to do 400 squares. I'm also showing you the wrong way around. So I don't know if I've shown you the completed first quarter, but I did complete the first quarter. It is so huge, there is no way I'm going to be able to show you this all. But yeah, I am now well into the second quarter, which technically I shouldn't have started until today, but I have been doing more than one square a day. As long as I do at least one square a day, you know, that's the plan, at least one square a day. And what I did when I came to doing the second quarter is I turned it around. I'm going under. So you might be able to see the chevrons starting here, if you can sort of see the way they're working. And the plan is either to have it going outwards like the spokes on a wheel. There we go, this is working. Or to have it the other way around, which is going to be more difficult to show you because I haven't done as much this way around. Where it's going to be like a diamond in the centre and then going out from around. Yeah. So that is the plan, that it will have that finished effect. I don't know which finished effect because I haven't quite worked out, but I'll get to that when I get to doing the next quarter. And I'm not I'm not halfway through the second quarter yet, so that's going to be a while off. So other than socks, this is the project that I seem to be working on the most at the moment. I mean, so yeah, this is the line that is, so all this is the next quarter. So at the moment I am 7, and I've managed to go all the way along this way. So 7 by 10 in this quarter, but obviously it's not halfway through. And there are some really nice yarns in here. And I have been running out of minis because my plan was to get some more at the Yorkshire Yarn Fest, which was cancelled due to everything that's going on. And so I feel like this quarter isn't as colourful because of that. I think I'm restricted on what I'm using. But I have come up with a solution to that I will be showing you later. And there are 1,000,001 ends to sew in. So one day a week I try to at least do a few of them. This area is all sewn in. On the back. Cal's seen a bird. But yeah, that's one of my yarns that I dyed. But yeah, a few of these are ones that I dyed. That's the Malabrigo. That's one by Rhapsody Yarn. Couple by Ducky. These two were the ones that were in my Zweig, the green and the light blue. That one was in my Ravenshaw. That's a single ply from, it's not Fruitful Fusions, it's the other one, Fine Fish Yarns. Lots of die candy, gamer crafting, a little bit of gamer crafting corner there. And that's a black elephant that's in another one of my Ravenshaws. So yeah, absolutely love this project. It's the type of project that I want to work on all the time, but I also really want this finished object. I'm kind of having to not be too precious about it because obviously Puka is just climbing all over it and jumping on it and pulling at it, and there are pulls and snags in it and whatnot, and I will go over and tidy them up a little bit, but to be honest, it's a comfy blanket that will be part of my home, and my cat's part of my home, so they are entitled to ruin things in it. And even though it's precious, it's not kept in a glass case precious. It's to be used, to be loved, to be clawed to death. Puka. So yeah, that is my mitered square blanket. It is my comfort and I enjoy working on it very, very much. Okay, Cal's very excited because there's a bird outside, so that is why this tail is going, and also Puka is playing with her tail. Yeah. So if I'm boring you, just pay attention to that. Okay, so my next work in progress that isn't socks, we'll get on to the socks, there are many, is this, and this is the, would have been good if I prepped this, Smithy's cowl? Smithy's, there we go. I'll put all the details on screen, and any show notes and whatnot are always in the description on my video, so you'll find it all down there. But yeah, this is a free pattern by Baramu for their Titus yarn. And we started stocking the Titus at Dutton's just before we closed. Oh, it's lovely wool. I will read what it is. It is 70% British wool and 30% alpaca, and it is spun and dyed in Yorkshire. So, and it does say that it's 50% Wensleydale long wool, which makes sense. I've made a jumper out of Wensleydale long wool, so yeah, I know what it's like. 20% Blue Face Leicester and the 30% British alpaca. So yeah, that is the Titus. If you want to support local shops, even though this may not necessarily be local to you, we still have this at Dutton's for Buttons, which has a website, and you can buy it through their website. they are shipping out even though the shop isn't open. So yeah, I can't, this is so soft, it is amazing, this yarn. And so I am starting doing this as a sample for all the shop. And let me get it the right way around. So this is an all over lace shawl. As I say, it's a free pattern and it's a lovely pattern. I'm not a massive lace fan. No, that's wrong. I love lace, I'm just rubbish at it. My brain just doesn't seem to like it. Although I was like, I think this is a new thing. I think like I've just found some lace I'm not very good at, and that's made me think I'm not good at all lace. I put on this this sort of shawly thing this morning. Hair. Yeah, I put on this morning, which I'm fairly sure is called the Nautilus shawl, but I will check and put it in the show notes. And this is knit out of Sheep on Mars yarn that I got a few years ago. It's absolutely beautiful. There's definitely some silk in here. The drape is amazing. But yeah, I did this sort of lace on here without even thinking about it. So yeah. And actually I'm finding this lace relatively easy. Yeah, I still have to think about it. Yeah, I can't watch the telly while I'm doing it. But that's no bad thing. But yeah, it's just got these sort of wandering eyelets in these sections. And I think it's pretty much just a case of keep on going till it's long enough and then loop it. And one ball of the Titus. This is the most beautiful orangey colour. Rusty orange. This is the one the pattern is actually knitting, the sample for the pattern, and I just couldn't resist doing the same colour. It was the one that spoke to me the most. Love it. So yeah, haven't got very far on this. Technically I'm doing it for work, it is a shop sample, but yeah, not got very far. New. So I'm going to have to move. Okay, just sat there now. Right. I can't see what episode it is now. Okay, socks. The many socks. Right, so yeah. First off, I think I'd started these on the last one. These are the Fireside, sorry, this is the Fireside self-striping colourway by the Yarn Badger. And I have already knit one pair of these that are in my Christmas box, and this was what I had left over. And what I was doing was I was knitting it as a tube, and then when I had finished the tube, I was going to put in afterthought toe, heel and cuff. Well done. All the words in the right place. That won't last long. Yeah, to make a pair of socks, and I have done one of those. I'm using this Drops Fable in colour 110 as the contrast, just because it's sensing a theme. It's a lovely rusty orange, and I thought went really well with the Fireside theme. So yeah, one of those is finished. Okay. So when I do a tube, actually, I'll show you that later because I've got another tube on the go. Yeah. So this is the second tube. I could have knit a tube all in at once, but for some reason I decided I just wanted to finish that sock. So I could have knit the tube in one go and then separated it, but for some reason I just wanted to make that into a finished pair of socks. And I'm not really beating myself up about my knitting whims at the moment. I'm just sort of going with the flow, and what happens doesn't. And if I don't have much finished stuff, if I cast on a million things, doesn't matter. You know, who's going to tell me off? Well, you lot might, but... So yeah, this is the second sock tube, and I start off with a crocheted provisional cast on. I'm doing so well at showing this today. And then I just knit till I have a tube long enough. That's wonderful words. yeah, so start with the provisional cast on and then I knit until it's long enough. I think with this yarn by the Yarn Badger, her stripes are pretty consistent, and I think for my pairs of socks I need 26 stripes before I put in heels, toes and cuffs. And so this one isn't actually far off if you want to count. So that's another tube on the way and another pair of socks that will be finished at some point. But I do have another finished singular sock, and these I hadn't started on the last podcast. After my experiment with the Cubics needles, they don't do these in a 2.25, but I thought I'd experiment with some other new needles, because I think you can get stuck in a rut a bit with what needles you're using and what needles you like. So for this yarn, and this yarn is Drops Fable again in the long print. It is colour number 623. I think the long print refers to the length of the repeat, because I don't actually think there is a repeat in this sock. But yeah, these were knit on... So I do have the second one on here, but I also have these, yeah. So these are the Knit Pro Smart Sticks, and I think these are fairly new, but I might be completely wrong. And what they are is they have a measure on the needle, and being in the UK, these measure every 2 centimetres. I honestly was expecting them to be an inch measure or half an inch measure, but nope, 2 centimetres it is, and that is fine. So my experiment was to knit a pair of socks with these, and so the cuff, which is 2x2 and 64 stitches again, 2.25mm needles. The cuff, as you can see, is 2 blocks or 4 centimetres. The length of the leg is the full length of the needle, and then I think the length of the foot is again the full length of the needle. And then I did the same heel turn from the stranded socks. I did the Eye of Partridge heel, and I think I attempted to do the garter edging on this. You can probably just see it there, but I forgot it was meant to be garter, so it ended up being reverse stocking stitch. I can live with that. What are you doing, girlies? But yeah, it makes like a quite nice clean pickup. I did the Eye of Partridge again just because I'd just done it on the stranded socks, and I just wanted to keep practicing it. I am trying to learn more. No, that's the wrong word. I'm trying to be able to read my knitting more, because things I've like struggled with in the past is like doing a wedge toe. I didn't really enjoy doing wedge toes because I could never remember which round I'd already decreased on, because it's usually you decrease on a round and then do a round straight, and I would never be able to remember which one it was. But now I'm learning to read and to see where the decrease was from the row before, and it's all just practice. But yeah, this is a commercial sock yarn. It is very cheap. I have needed 2 balls because these are quite long socks, and this is the end of the first ball, which has done pretty much the whole of the leg of the second sock. So I've just got to get to the heel turn, and that will be another sock finished. And you may notice a theme, that my socks are sort of stalling when they get to a point where I've got to put some brain power in. It's getting a little bit brighter in here. so those are 2 pairs of socks, and there are more. Because I was enjoying knitting socks so much, I treated myself to a couple of balls of commercial sock yarn. This Drops Fable being one. There is another one that's in a reddish colour that I haven't brought up to show you. Never mind. But the other one was this. There is no yarn in there. I am using it. It's Yarn Tarts yarn, and it comes in a caked ball, and I got this from Suffolk Socks, which is an independent website, and they mainly do sock yarn. Some of it's independent yarn, some of it's commercial yarn, and they were having a sale, and I got this, and it was £20, and I'm fairly sure I got it for nearly half price. I know it wasn't expensive, and I was really, really happy to get it. And it's the soft sock base, and the colourway is Slingbacks. And I honestly could not resist this. You see all the colours, it's so pretty. I don't know if this is still available, but have a Google and see what you can find out. And this, yes, I had many other socks. It's not just these socks I've got on the needles, I think I've got another 4 pairs. But as soon as this arrived, I had to, excuse me, as soon as this arrived, I had to cast it on because, oh, it's so soft. I mean, not all socks have to be tough. I like the idea of having some luxury on my feet. Yeah, so this yarn had to be cast on straight away. And I decided to do a pattern that I'd seen on the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast. I don't know if you've seen Ali, I'm sure you have. I mean, her podcast is wonderful. I love watching her. And every year she has a Strictly Sock Along, which is Strictly Come Dancing. And I don't think I've ever entered, but this year she was knitting a pattern called the Downtown Shorty Socks, and it has these slip stitches in, and it really showed off the speckles in the yarn, and I thought, when I saw this yarn, I was like, that would be perfect for that pattern. And I had it in my library. I can't remember if I got it when it was free, or I'm fairly sure it is a paid for pattern anyway. But yeah, if you can see, I'm sorry that there are hairs on everything. If you can see, the slip stitches really show off the speckled yarn. Absolutely love this. And yeah, it is so incredibly soft. It is amazing. And I haven't done them short, I've done them long, and I think I've made a few minor alterations to the pattern as I'm going. I think she gets you to do the slip stitches in a different formation on the what bit of the foot is this bit? Come on, you're guessing. This bit. The instep? Yeah. Yeah. Why doesn't that feel right in my head? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So down the front bit of the foot, I think she gets you to change the pattern format slightly, but I just decided to keep it as it was because I like the flow of it. And I have done a heel flap and gusset again because I'm practicing, as I say, to be able to read my knitting. And this is just a standard slip stitch one rather than the Eye of Partridge. And I think it's really pretty. And so yeah, I am just past the decreases and onto the sock. And this one is slightly more engaging than a round and round and round sock, but technically quicker because you're slipping stitches. So yeah, really, really like this pattern. It is the Downtown Shorties by I can't remember who, and I will put that on the screen, and I'll get rid of that and sort the light out. Oh yeah, I'm back again. Hopefully the light's a little bit softer. It was getting a bit glary even though it is overcast, although I definitely see some blue sky coming out there. And I just had a little move around of the cat sofa as these two were playing together and being adorable, and you couldn't see Puka. So yeah, just a little move around. there is not a lot left to talk about. I have one more sock that I'm working on, which should be in this bag. It is. Yeah, and then a little acquisition section, and yeah, we're there. Oh, I'll chat a little bit about the kitties at the end. Yeah. So yeah, so the final sock I am working on is knit again. I dropped it again. So this again is a self-striping yarn by the Yarn Badger. Love the Yarn Badger's yarn, and I was able to get her Advent 24 stripe yarn last year, and this is the leftover. Because I was knitting 2 at the time socks for the Advent socks, I split this into 2 balls of, you know, not quite equal size, because I knew there was 24 stripes and that was going to be my sock. So what I wound off 24 stripes of one ball, and then what was left was in the other ball, and then what was left is this. After I'd knit those socks, what is left is this. And it's about 35 grams. Not really enough to knit a pair of socks. Shorties maybe, definitely, really. If you do contrast heels and toes, you could definitely get a pair of socks out of it. So pretty much sort of a lady's standard you could easily get out of, you could easily get shorties out of a 35 gram ball. But I wanted long socks, and so I had an idea. And I'm fairly sure I stole this idea from one of the podcasts I've been watching. I cannot remember which watch, and I am losing stitches. Just one. Don't worry, it's only one stitch. So I cast on, I did another provisional cast on for another sock tube, and what I am doing is I am alternating the self-striping yarn with a undyed sock yarn every 2 rows. And what happens with that is that the self-striping gives you this lovely effect, whereas it's balanced with the undyed and makes it plain. It's very deck chairy, is that a word? Seasidey, summery, lovely. It's lovely. Yeah, so I'm just alternating every 2 rows and just going to go round and round until I've used it up, and then I'll make it into however long a pair of socks I can get out of it, really. It's getting long fast. I don't think I'll be able to get enough for 2 pairs of socks out of it, but who knows? I'll just keep going until I've used all this yarn and then see what I can get out of it. I might even be able to get like some little mitts or something out of what's left. If you want to see the back, this is where I'm changing over yarns. It's causing like a spine up the back, or like a jog, I suppose people might call it. I actually am really enjoying this. I think it looks really pretty, and that will go up the back of the leg in the sock. Oh, hang on, postman's here. Sorry, there's going to be lots of cuts in this today. That was the postman just delivering some yarn. Not very exciting yarn. More of what I will be showing you in a little bit. It's a really sort of unnerving experience though, answering the door to the postman who like knock on the door, leave the parcel on the doorstep and then back away until they see you like coming to get it, like they're delivering a bomb. It's very weird. I don't like it. So I'm there like waving down the street going, thank you! It's a very strange world we're living in at the moment. But yes, a little bit of yarn just arrived. Not exciting yarn, I will show you. Yeah, so I pretty much think that's all I've got to talk about crafty wise. Life stuff. Puka is settling in really, really well. She's an incredible cat. It really is. She's quiet. Vocally, I mean. If you want to hear her running down a hall, that is not quiet. It is amazing something that small can make a sound like a herd of elephants. her and Cal took a few weeks to warm up to each other. Well, that's not true. Cal took a while to warm up to Puka. Puka was enamoured with Cal the moment she saw her. But yeah, now Cal is very mothering towards her and it's really, really cute. What else can I tell you about her? She's crazy, will chew everything. No one's going to believe a word I say because you look adorable and sleepy. Yeah, she's put on a lot of weight, which is good. She was just under 300 grams when she got here. And she's well over 1,000. Is that a kilo? Yeah, I think she was 1,500 the last time I weighed her, which is really, really good. She's getting the right chub on. She's had her second set of injections. So, yeah, the next vet visit will be when she's spayed. And then she'll be allowed to go outside. She hasn't got a collar yet. That is another thing that I've got to sort out for her at some point, but she is still really, really tiny. Come on, I'm going to disturb you. You disturb me all the time, I'm going to disturb you. But yeah, she's very, very cute. She likes to sleep on the sofa behind me and sort of wrap herself around my neck. She sleeps on the bed next to my head as well. She's now sniffing. Yeah, the only problem really we've had with the lockdown situation is she's on a special food. Is a very fussy eater, and that was the reason she was so tiny. It was really difficult to get her to eat anything. Really, she just wanted to, she didn't want to wean. She wanted mum and she wanted milk, and even though cats' mothers at a certain age, they will push their kittens away, so they have to learn. She wasn't learning, mainly because probably there were other nursing mums in that house and they would let her sneak in and have a little bit. And actually what she does with Cal is she walks underneath Cal and puts her head up, and if you've had kittens you'll know that that's them sort of going, oi, oi, want some milk? So she's still trying to beg for milk even off Cal, and Cal has nothing to give. So yeah, that is her main thing that she wants. She wants that. So the food that Sarah, the breeder, got her on, and she's still on, is a raw food, which comes frozen and has to be kept in the freezer and defrosted bit by bit. It's disgusting, but she eats it. It looks like corned beef, spam, whatnot, mushed up mince, yucky yucky. She's licking on. And yeah, there was a worrying point when I went onto the website that I get that from, and they had sold out of like a lot of the types, and she will only have one type of it anyway. Are you stealing yarn? Yeah, she will only eat one of the flavours, so, but they had it. It took longer than expected to come, but she was never without any food. So yeah, but that was the one sort of slight worry. And then we had the other slight worry with Cal losing her voice, but that was fine. If anything, it was stressful and it was worrying, but it was hilarious because she was still trying to cry, just no noise was coming out. And I really shouldn't laugh, but oh my god, it was... You yarn stealer. She does have a habit of any yarn that's like in a bowl. Because I have all my balls for my matted square downstairs in a bowl, and she just like will go and just take one out and start playing with it. So she is a yarn stealer. Other than that, she's just adorable, really. Yeah, can't really complain. But yeah, that I think is it. I hope you all are well. I hope you've enjoyed this hour or so of madness. Keep carrying on. Don't beat yourself up if you're not feeling creative or productive or whatnot. Just carry on and get through the day. If you want to support me in this podcast, one of the best things you can do for absolute free is to go onto my Etsy shop, find a pattern you love and share it. You don't have to buy it, you just have to share it with social media. That would mean the world to me. Other than that, I have an Etsy shop, I have a website, I have a Ko-fi account, but we're fine. Things will be tight for a while, as they will with everyone, but we will be fine. Puka may not be fine if she continues to chew what is my favourite one. She's picked out my favourite one. Oh, I didn't tell you. Sidebar. I don't know if I can find it. It's underneath here somewhere. She has another habit. I cast these on. This is a cast on end. You have to see this. That is how close to the cast on end she bit through the yarn. That was the one moment where I was like, you are going back. Yeah, she does have a tendency to chew through yarn. It's happened a few times on a few different projects. It's happened on these. It hasn't happened on these ones, but I shouldn't say that because she'll just take it as a personal challenge. It is also one of the reasons I'm not working on projects that are too precious to me at the moment. She will create extra ends to sew in, she will snag things. It's fine. It's fine. She won't be a kitten forever, and I would rather enjoy it than have pristine knits around. But yeah, here's to a happy home, wherever you are and whoever you're with. I am with my girls, and I am happy. And yes. I hope you are too. Stay safe, stay relaxed, and I will see you as soon as I can. Goodbye. Bye.